decision on which to buy, the L405 V6 or V8. So we're taking the V6 for a test first. I'm in the V6 right now. The mileage is a bit lower than the V8. First test is to go over the bumps to check the integrity of the chassis. It is okay. This doesn't have the ARC, which is the active ride control option. And turning into curves, there is that classic transfer case sound, which comes in once a while or not, and that is taken care of by either changing the fluids and reprogramming or changing transfer case. This particular car has a few errors on our scan. We have errors from the cam control, which is not much of a problem, that can be changed. Average value, tire pressure sensor, or the pressure from the tires, that can be worked on too. And also the brake pad, one indicator is on, so that might be just the sensor or the brake pads themselves. As a personal choice, this for this V6, it has the seat massage function, and oh, you can hear that, and that is quite useful on a crazy stressful day like this. So this V6 is equipped with the standard HSE equipment, the standard HSE trim, and that means you have the heated steering, wooden steering, panoramic roof, full entertainment unit. So strangely, yes, the V6 would consume less fuel, return better mileage, but for our fuel system, we found out that because of the high compression, we've had more problems with engine failures with the V6 than the V8. However, with enough care, they should do about the same. Don't just let your fuel run dry like this, and each time you refuel, always make sure you use an octane booster. So there goes our sound again. So we're just going to check the power train. Seems smooth. And what do you know? All the tire pressure signs. Anyway, for the Range Rover or for the Land Rover, when all that comes on, know that 2 or more tires have lost the recommended pressure. However, there was a recall too on the body control module, not getting information from the initiators and the tire pressure sensors. But I don't think that's the case in this car. Okay, so a couple more errors from the scan, nothing too serious. So we're going to drop this car now and get on the V8. Range Rover Doctor, today we are deciding which to buy, L405, V6 or V8. Now we are in the V8 and already feels a whole lot more Range Rover-y. I'm feeling more luxury. First of all, there's the HUD heads-up display, which means you can actually project and see everything, some information about your vehicle on the screen without looking at the instrument cluster. This is black on black, and it feels heavier definitely. Display is about the same, and this is a V8, so I'm actually feeling the pull and the torque and the brake horsepower However, there is this dreaded suspension fault. This is not the regular suspension fault. This is from the ARC, which is the active ride control. It's different from the dynamic response, which is just in the shocks. This control is actually in the stabilizer bar, so it gives you more balance when you're going through curves. So this fix is anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 million, and it already just gives this car like a disadvantage. However, I wouldn't say that, because this feels like a Range Rover. The seats are comfortable. I'm not too sure if they have the massage function of the other one. Oh yes, they do. Woo! So that's it. The massage function is there. Does it work? Yes, it does. Oh great. So we're just going to put it through bumps and see. If both cars were at the same price, I would take the V8, trust me, even if I'm going to spend 2.5 million on the ARC. Maybe the ARC and different settings for the dynamic response, this feels a little bit harsh through bumps. But then again, if you slow down and let the machine recalculate what kind of surface is on, it feels as smooth. And of course, woo, the pool, it's there. 510 horsepower. Now this is a Range Rover. I could hear a little bit of clunks too, so I'm not too sure. Let's go through this curve. I'm not too sure if it has that problem, the clunk thingy. No, I don't think so. I can't hear that. The transfer case problem from the L405 that just gives you the clunk sound when you're going through a curve, especially at moderate speeds. I don't think I can hear it here. Like I said, that can be sorted too by changing the fluids, reprogramming, recalibrating, or changing the entire transfer case module and the assembly itself. Okay, hold on. Oh no, now. Oh no, this is it's free. That's not here. Oh yeah, baby. All right, so I think personal choice, I'll take the V8. I'll take the V8 because this feels like a real Range Rover. And with the V8 engine, you can actually rest a bit buying fuel in Nigeria, but then again, I would advise you stick to the rules. Oh my god. That's the V8 pool. So this is a real Range Rover. So the downside is you'll be visiting the filling station more often than running a V6. But then again, if you want a Range Rover, the economy should be one of the last factors you need to consider, because it's a car for it's a luxury XUV, so you're not cutting corners. It should be what it is. Okay, so back to maintenance. This has the ARC. That's about the only difference when it comes to the powertrain and of course the engine. For the parts, for the engine parts, if you want to go to the salvage yard, or if you are actually shopping for new parts, you have more support for the V8s, because basically the V6 engines were only introduced somewhere between 2014 and 2016. So whereas the V8s have been around for donkey years, even before the BMW era, the Jaguar AJs have been running in the Land Rover and Jaguar variants for years before they were modified in 2005 with the AJ V8. So you have more parts and more support, and it's a rugged engine. So if you're buying the L405, my first advice would be go for the V8. It's a better option. Introducing the base V8 non-supercharged engines. These engines came with the base Range Rovers that were made from 2013 to 2014, and they share the same platform with the LR4, the previous generation Range Rover Sport, and the predecessor to the L405 Range Rover designated code L322, normally aspirated versions. So this engine, we will say, stands in between the V6 supercharged and the V8 supercharged. When it comes to power, it packs about 375 brake horsepower, and yeah, it's rated in a way more than the V6 supercharged. But we noticed that for takeoff, the V6 supercharged is more responsive, but up there, when it picks up, it packs a punch, and the towing capability is more than a V6 supercharged. So when you have a trailer or yacht or something like that, it's more powerful. We will advise, if you can, or if you want, if you can find it, because these engines actually will be found in the older cars. You can't find it in, or be very rare to find in anything above 2014, 2015. If that's your range, then go for the V8 normally aspirated, because you're going to have a lot of parts, and for our fueling system, it's less stress. And driving it, it depends on if it comes with the dynamic shocks or the ARC or any other added suspension component. But most of the time you find the base non-dynamic, non-ARC shocks, and even if they are less responsive, they have less issues when you're trying to fix them. So over bumps, they might be a little bit comfortable, but on tarmac you might find a lot of body roll, because there's no ARC and there's no dynamic suspension. So our verdict would be, if you are shopping for the older versions of the L405 and you have a decision to make between the base normally aspirated V8 engine and the supercharged V6, and you're going to drive this car in Lagos, in Nigeria, or anywhere in Nigeria, we will advise you to go for the V8 normally aspirated engine, because it will save you a whole lot of stress. However, our full verdict still stands. If you're choosing between the V8 normally aspirated engine as against the V8 supercharged engine, it's like night and day. There's no need to even think about it. Pick the V8 supercharged. That is a real Range Rover.